Men make up the majority of companies' executive teams, leadership teams, and heads of governments across the world. The problem is that 74% of men think that men and women have equal opportunities at work, but only 49% of women think the same. Only 42% of black women feel the same. The majority of men do not recognize that sexism and racism exist in their workplace and do not recognize discrimination in their own organization. In addition, many men feel threatened by feminism and the fear of losing what they have. However, diversity and inclusion is good for business. Executive teams that are highly gender diverse are 21% more likely to outperform on profitability. In this video, I will share 4 powerful ways that men can become inclusion champions and boost diversity and inclusion in their workplace. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more videos like this one. Ready to dive in? Let's do this! Step 1. Recognize bias in your workplace and acknowledge your own unconscious bias. Research shows that 90% of men do not believe that their workplace harbors any kind of gender bias. If you have never experienced bias and want to know if it exists in your workplace, you need to ask someone who is different from yourself. Gender is just one dimension of this. It could also be someone who grew up in a different culture or who has a different ethnic background. Unconscious bias awareness training can help. Step 2. Encourage participation from disinterested individuals. Across society, many white men feel threatened by feminism, gender equity, and other movements for social justice. This often stems from a fear of change and a fear of losing what they have. But the only way to create justice for minorities is to create a dialogue. Invite your white male colleagues to join diversity networks. Talk about the importance of advocating for women, people of color, LGBT+ individuals, disabled individuals, etc. at work every day. Do not shy away from having these conversations because they are critical in bringing positive change. Encourage men to talk to women and other minorities about the topic of diversity and inclusion, asking to share their experience with the goal of listening and learning. Select influential white male leaders to champion diversity and inclusion initiatives in your organization. Step 3. Set diversity and inclusion goals tied to monetary compensation. According to research, 41% of executives say they are too busy to prioritize diversity and inclusion. Nothing will happen unless you set goals. Goals drive behavior. Monetary goals drive behavior faster. If you're committed to diversity and inclusion, you must set goals for your leadership team that are tied to monetary bonuses. Remember that inclusive organizations are twice more likely to exceed financial targets. 85% of CEOs whose companies have an inclusiveness strategy said it's improved their bottom line. So, remember to compensate for the outcome of your diversity and inclusion efforts. Step 4. Think of yourself as an advocate, an upstander, a diversity champion. The upstander sees misconduct and acts to address it. The upstander pushes back on offensive comments or jokes, even if no one is in the room. Other ways to act as an upstander include always speaking up if you see or hear a speech that is degrading or offensive. Explaining your stance so that everyone is clear about why you are raising the issue. In meetings, shut down any off-topic questions that are asked only to test. Listening and keeping quiet does not make us neutral, it makes us complicit. Speaking up feels uncomfortable, but this discomfort is nothing compared with the discomfort of the victim. So here you have it, 4 ways that men can become inclusion champions. Recognize bias in your workplace and acknowledge your own unconscious bias. Encourage participation from disinterested individuals. Set diversity and inclusion goals tied to monetary compensation. Think of yourself as an advocate, an upstander, a diversity champion. Shout out to Jamie Turner for his comment on my last video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one, and let me know what else you are doing to help men become inclusion champions in the comment section. My name is Perrine Fark. I'm an author, professional speaker, and diversity and inclusion expert. And I'll see you next time.